All right, another week around the trash fire. Your host Matthias, along with the boy.
John.
So, are you ready for this week?
Yeah, lots of cool stuff, I'd say.
There's some interesting stuff in there.
Mm-hmm.
I was kind of hoping for more spooky things to happen, but I guess we didn't really get that. Speaking of which, did you ever go to that GW store to pick up your Cursed City model?
No, I did not get the chance. I'm sure they'll have some
I'm sure they will.
left.
I'm sure they'll have plenty left. But okay then, that's fine. We can always talk about what we're gonna get this month. And this month we're getting a high elf.
Yeah, quite interesting.
Well, does that mean high elves are gonna be getting a something dedicated to them this month? Because didn't their book already come out, or no?
Yeah, the book already came out, so I'm not sure why this is random. Something interesting though I should mention with the new model of the month. I got a couple. I got the Votan one. I got the Warcry one, and they come in their own sprue. So they come unassembled in this little cute box they have, and they are their own sprue. Because before, when they first had this kind of new model thing, they would take. So
Pre-built.
what happens is the stores will get the full kit, and then they would just build the models, and then give, or the employees would build the models from the kit and then give it to you. But now it seems that they're just making sprues for these. So like the Votan guy and the Warcry dude I got, were they're in their own sprue, kind of like a demo model. So that was interesting.
Yes, I do have a couple of those model of the months from back in the day, just fully
Hmm.
built for me. But I am curious because going back to the Warcry one, you know, Warcry article, they said that these model of the months were going to be focused on what is going to be big that month. So I gotta know what high elf thing they have planned. You think it's like
Yeah,
unit?
yeah, I would think it would be a Slaves to Darkness thing, Warriors of Chaos, but I guess not.
Yeah, that's what I would be thinking. But here we are. So we got that coming, and get past these paints, and we got the collectible coin, the High Lord's coin, which looks nice. I'd pick it up
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
if I had a GW near me. That is our, or not our. It is the collectibles of the month. I am curious though, because there was there was nothing really Cursed City wise, was there last month?
There was the expansion with no models that came out. Silly thing.
Was that the big? That wasn't the biggest thing to come out that month, was it? Wasn't it like Botan?
No, the biggest thing was Votan. But well, Votan launched the month before, and then last month the Votan rest of the range came out, or just came out. I think it's a pre-order. I think it's coming out this weekend. And then, but yeah, the Cursed City did get an expansion, even though it was an okay expansion. No new models, kind of lame, my opinion. But
All
yeah,
right, well, I guess we'll see if they drop the ball again. But yeah, I would have assumed Slaves of Darkness, but
yeah, I think they just kind of gave up on the model of the month being tied to a big release thing. I think they're just giving out random models, which is fine. I mean, it's a free model, right? I think people who complain about free models need to re-examine their views on things.
true. I agree with that. Because who doesn't like free?
Hmm.
Well, speaking of Slaves of Darkness, you got the Slaves of Darkness box.
Yes.
Should we go over these models here?
Yeah, we got 10 Chosen, the Demon Prince, and the new Ogroid Therodons. Yeah, this is sick. I said this before. This is a great box. I think Will's picking it up because Saves the Darkness is his AOS army alongside not Gloomspite. Well, yeah, Gloomspite and Cruel Boys. Because Will, for people who know Will, he has a fully painted Archaeon.
Has he ever used the Archon?
Yes, he has. He has used the Archaeon.
And is he a beast in combat?
Archaeon is pretty legit in combat and in other things too with the new book. So
Oh, and this is the only time you can get the new Demon Prince, because who knows when that's going to be sold separately.
right.
Yeah, there we go. And this is going to run you about what? $190?
I think it says
110?
yeah one. I think it says 190. Which
Wait. Rewind. Did you say 190?
yeah, it says 190.
Oh no. Okay.
Yeah, I mean honestly that makes sense. You have it's full kits, right? The Demon Prince probably 60. The Theradon's probably 60. The Chosen are probably 60. That's already 180. Codex is $40. You're already breaking 200. Cards are another $40. So you're saving money from. I mean, all these boxes save you money. It's just that the models themselves are just really expensive. So, but
Well,
yeah,
this is a typical AOS thing, the beautiful looking models.
right. Lots of bits. Lots and lots of bits. My gosh.
Lots of gold trim, yeah, but I see that. Not as much as 40k.
I would want to play this army, but I've already committed to regular humans, and I have my vampires, and there's just way too much trim. I've mentioned it to my friends, and I think on this cast, but my trim painting efforts are committed to Black Legion. All the energy painting trim is going to Black Legion, and I cannot afford to spend that energy anywhere else because it is a lot of energy required.
It is too much. As someone who's painted the Thousand Suns, it's too much. But yeah, there we go. Box set coming out. Pre-order next week. Cause we can go to our Sunday preview here. We got Slaves of Darkness. Everything coming out here. Everything we just talked about. Demon Prince, the Ogryn, Chosen, the Knights. Then we got the Ma Tribe book coming out. And their little battle thing. Have the Ogres had a rework of their models? Just
No,
curious.
they've only gotten actually they've had one well now two new models since AOS came out, which is the HQ in this Vanguard slash Battle Force box, and this new one that's coming out from Warhammer Day or whatever that event was. Everything else is from Warhammer Fantasy.
I was gonna say, man, these models look pretty dated.
Oh yeah.
And there we go. We
Oh
got
yeah.
the Ogre box coming out. This character here, the Blood Pelt Hunter, is just an ogre to me. The Man Eaters. Now I'm not sure. These are new models, right?
No, these are all resin fantasy models.
Okay, I've never
Yeah,
seen these models before. Then
yeah,
again, ogres are
they
not a popular army back in
nope,
fantasy.
not fantasy. I think the middle guy used to be a special character, but they're just regular man eaters now. And they're really cool. I wish they were plastic, but alas.
You're wishing for too much.
Yeah, I know, right?
Let's see. Then we got the Ogre War Scroll cards. Your typical stuff. We got the Maw dice. Pretty bland. Just your typical gray whitish dice with black dots.
Yeah.
Nothing too special there. We got the Vanguard Sylvaneth box.
Yeah, this is kind of interesting. They replaced well, first off, they added so looking at the start collecting that they used to have, they added Kurnoth Hunters, which are a staple of the faction, and just in terms of rule of cool. and they replaced the Dryads with Tree of Remnants, which I think is a good idea because Dryads are a very old fantasy kit, and I think having the Tree of Revenants there is a better pick for sure. Just because they're the newer models, and it's a multi-kit, you could build Spite Revenants as well. You got the multi-kit Tree Lord, which you could build as the special character. I think it's a special character.
What, the
And
bee?
the one with the sword.
Oh.
And the wizard one. So this is pretty cool. And isn't competitive? Probably because this is like half the units in Sylvaneth almost. So I'm sure one of these will be good in the competitive scene. But regardless, I mean, they're all cool models. And if you're going to start Sylvaneth or expand your Sylvaneth army, this is a great buy.
Take your word on that. And then we got Sons of Bahamut. Who cares? Let's be real. 30k. We got the Horse Harry. What am I looking for? Liber Imperium.
Yep, this Forces of the Emperor book. So this will contain rules for the Legio Custodes, which is separate from the Sisters of Silence army, which will also have their own army, and we'll talk about the contents later because the table of contents were leaked. And then we got the Solar Auxilia, which is interesting because Solar Auxilia aren't all loyalists. They are traitor Solar Auxilia, unless they rechange that lore, but we'll see. And then we got the Assassins. Now everything here except Solar Auxilia, for now, that we know of, everything else is loyalist only. So no traitors, Sisters of Silence, or Assassins. Which is fine because the traders get demons. So
True.
Still waiting for that PDF, GW. Come on, please. This book's coming out. We gotta do War in the Webway, release the demons. Please, let's do it.
That'll be another year.
Oh my gosh, it's a PDF. Come on, guys.
And then we got our Assassins, as you just mentioned.
Yeah.
I'm more interested in the info site Assassin. I think this one's probably the best one.
I'll probably get all of them just to have. I mean, they're cool. Should be fun to paint. Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
I
cool.
mean, I think the first one's probably like the most bland to me, but the other two are fine.
Oh yeah, the Eversor, not Eversor.
Yes.
I'll still pick him up because why not? Might as well.
Why not?
It's
And
30k. I can run it, so my Blood
true.
Angels.
Then here's the Solar XR tank crew.
Yeah, some tank crew upgrades for because Solar Auxilia can use Leban Rust tanks and other Forge-Rolled Resin tanks, and these add some flavor to the sponsons, or not sponsons, the pintle mounted weapons. Yeah, these are cool. I like them. They're resin though.
Of course it is. It's all forge rolled.
Yeah, I don't think it's in the new release.
And then we got the Surgeons.
Yeah, these are not new models. This is a re-release of OOP models.
What are
But
the
it's good to see them
OOP?
coming back. What's up?
What are the OOPs for those uninformed?
Out of print. So they were out of print for a while. Couldn't buy them, and then at least not on not officially on Forge. You could get them on eBay for exorbitant prices. But now they're back. So if you want some cool medics for your Solar Auxilia force, I think it's a special character. Yep, Avos Joven and his orderlies. Yeah, you could include him now in your armies.
Cool. I've never seen these before. But then again, I didn't play 30k.
Yeah, this is these are models for a 30k only army that isn't even Space Marines. So I'm not shocked that many people haven't seen these models. They're super obscure in the grand scheme of things.
Oh, there we go. We got the Rapier batteries.
Yeah, also re-releases. They're pretty cool. I like the quad mortar one more than the Space Marine one. But yeah, the Solar Auxilia dudes.
It's an interesting design that they have.
Mm-hmm.
And then let's see what we got here. We got the Iron Hand upgrades.
Yep.
Torso, shoulder pads. Night Lord upgrades, which we'll talk about later. And then Necromunda. Got gang tactic cards, some terrain, the vehicle, the Cargo 8 Ridge Hauler trailer, and some more Goliath upgrade kits for Ashways to make them more. What's the word I'm looking for? More into the setting of Ashways. Got that going on, and then we go to our books. We got Shadow Sun, the Patient Hunter. Interesting book. Is this a new book?
Yeah, I think so.
A new novel by Phil Kelly.
Yeah.
I must say, I'd probably pick this book up just by the cover alone.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It's nice and interesting. I like when I have an interesting cover to look at. But that's coming out. We'll see how that goes. Only War. Looks like a bunch of stories from the 31st millennia. So a bunch of short stories coming in omnibus form. We got Conquest Unbound. Age of Sigmar stories. 21 stories by 15 different authors. That's a lot to go through. Then we're getting a re-release of Kragnos coming to softcover. The Emperor's Finest getting digital and softcover. Curse of Cain coming in audio form.
I forgot these came out, these end time stuff. I should pick them up when they're done and just listen to the end times.
The only end times book I ever read was the Nagash one.
Like the end times now they're just kind of bananas of just like ridiculous ways of tying in the Warhammer, or ending the Warhammer fantasy world. I'm over it. I'm over the stupidity. I think it's just fun, stupid. It's so stupid, but it's fun. To me. I mean, there was some really cool, tragic stuff, but overall, it was a very silly way to blow up the Warhammer world. But now it's just silly to me. No more hate, just laughter. I have become the Chaos Gods, just laughing at the world blowing up.
Yeah, I just didn't like. I just didn't like what happened to my army.
Yeah, being squatted sucks. Well, squats came back, so
yeah, give it 20 more years. It will come back eventually.
Yeah.
Dark Imperium becoming Germany. Translated. Blah blah. Sisters of Battle. Comic book.
I missed this when I first saw this Sunday preview. I'm gonna pick this up. I mentioned when this first got announced, like, oh, when they get collected in an omnibus, I'll pick it up. And yes, I will, because I was very pleased with the last one, the Marnius Calgar one.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, grabbing this for sure.
All right. Got that. Armies on Parade. You're talented enough. Go ahead and do this info. I'm not talented enough, so I will not be entering this. And then Warhammer Plus. We got Lore Masters for Stormhost. We got Angels of Death Final Cut. Is that just gonna be like all the? Is that just gonna be season 1 of Angels of Death in one cut, or one continuous showing? I don't know what Final Cut is.
Oh yeah. Oh, interesting. Yeah, it's edited together. Maybe I'll watch that. Maybe I like it more.
Then we got an AOS battle report
With Bonecast. Heck yeah.
Overall, it's a lot of stuff coming out this week. Tons of new stuff. Slaves of Darkness. It's very AOS focused, which is, I'd say, about time. AOS has kind of been going to the wayside. At least that's how it feels to me. Other than their like specialist games, Warcry, Underworld, that stuff's been getting a lot of love. But in terms of mainline AOS, not much happening there.
Yeah.
But it's good to see. And speaking of side games, Cursed City. I'm not gonna lie, this is the expansion, right?
Yes, it is. It is. A side note before we continue, I just bought the Sisters of Battle comic book on Amazon. I was like, oh, it's out. Picking it up. Anyways,
So, have you've played this? Yes.
the game, yeah.
Well, the expansion.
The expansion, no, I have not.
I was hoping to get your insight on this. I think this was pretty much the only thing they announced during the month of October. And yeah, I was just hoping to see what you were going to say about it.
I mean, reading the article, it seems like it's just more in-game like not new game plus, but post-story DLC plus, which is nice. But my issue with the game, which I've talked about before on the cast, is the missions just get kind of repetitive. Except, well, the boss missions are really fun, and honestly, the base missions are pretty fun too. It's just that you have to play like 4 or 5 of them before you play a boss mission, or maybe it was 3 or 4. Even then, if it was like 4 missions, it was a lot. It was because there's only 3 missions, and playing them in between boss fights, it gets kind of repetitive. So I wish that there would be more. Like honestly, if listeners, if you want to play this game, I recommend house ruling, where you double your rewards and just cut the number of missions in half. Then the game gets more fun. The pacing is better. But or do some house ruling to change the pacing of the missions. Then the game would make way more sense and be more fun, in my opinion, because it gets kind of grindy. And I wish that expansions would add different ways to play the base game, but it looks like it's just more post end game content, which I guess if you don't want to replay the game is good. But I was fine with the first one, or the first expansion being that, but the second expansion also being that is kind of like eh. Also, again, no minis here, and it actually says that if you want to play it properly, you should get some White Kings, Necromancers, Graveguard, Vargheists, and Direwolves. Now, if if you're playing with me and I have a Vampire Counts army, that's fine. Well, great. But if you don't have a Vampire Counts player, well, that sucks. So,
yeah, you're definitely missing out on the content there. For if you're got an expansion that requires more minis, it comes with 0 of those minis.
yeah, it's kind of lame. I'm not even sure if it comes with tokens for it. I hope it does, because otherwise that would be kind of crappy
I would
that
assume
it
it
does
would
that.
come with tokens at least.
Yeah. So.
Well, moving on from Curse City, Heresy Thursday, and we got the Night Lords. The Night Lords upgrade kits, which look nice. I like these.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I've committed to this army because I did the math. I have like, I already have 3.5k of Night Lords that I own because their units are stupid expensive. Well, mostly Legion units are stupid expensive. I just have to have a lot of their elite units. For example, I have 20 Night Raptors. I think 10 of them are like 420 points. So I already have like 850 points in 20 models. So I'm like, oh, okay, I'm a third of the way done in 20 models. And so yeah, I'm gonna play this army, and I was looking forward to this upgrade set. And I kind of hate it. On one hand, they're cool. I like the skull design that they input into the Mark 6, because I feel if they just made regular skull helmets, it would just be a copycat of the current Terror Squad / Mark 4 skull upgrade heads. So I like that they have this unique feel to them that they're kind of pointed like the Mark 6, so that's kind of cool. On the other hand, they look like Skaven skulls because having seen Skaven skulls, they just look like Skaven skulls. So that kind of bothers me, but I don't know if I still had unbuilt models when these come out. I will pick them up. I'll pick up a set at least to outfit a squad. I actually really like the winged helm. I might use that for a commander conversion, but we'll see. It's just the helmets on the side, they look like Skaven skulls. So to me, it's like I just kind of laugh. I don't even hate it. It just kind of I chuckle a bit, which kind of makes it slightly less cool to me. As for the shoulder pads, super cool. They're just standard Legion shoulder pads without trim. 10 out of 10.
Just the
If I
vampire
need some,
count
yep,
symbol, you know.
yep. Actually really like all the Mark 6. I really like Mark 6 shoulder pads because there's no trim. Amazing, no trim. So I love them all.
If I
And
wasn't
these,
committed to Thousand Suns, I'd probably do Night Lords,
yeah,
but
they're cool.
no more armies for me. No more.
It's okay. You got your Thousand Suns.
I'm done buying armies. I don't need another army in my life.
But yeah. So overall, this is a solid like 3, 4 out of 5 for me. 3.5,
Damn.
maybe 3.5.
Damn, he's so
I'll say
harsh.
4. I really like the bat helm. I'll say 4 just because of the bat helm. It doesn't look goofy.
Well then, let's get down to the real meat and potatoes here. What is this table of contents that you've
Yeah, this
found
is the
our
leaked
way?
table of contents for the Labor Imperium book we were talking about earlier.
I've zoomed in as much as I can.
Yeah,
Maybe a
so
little bit
looking at the
blurry.
looking at the custody stuff, it seems that standard stuff is all there. So all the custodies units, except obviously for the 40k Terminator squad, are not there. So it only has the 30k Terminator squad, which makes sense. Kind of not. Yeah, well, it does and it doesn't make sense. On one hand, it's a 30k army, so I get why they're focusing on the forward world stuff. On the other hand, there's no reason why Custodes didn't have that Terminator armor during the Heresy. Even the jet bike one, they had the 30k jet bikes, which are like the ones that look like the Space Marine jet bikes, so they're longer. And then there's the 40k ones, which look like, we know what they look like. They have the eagle motif on the front, which I'm surprised that's not on 30k because the artwork from Old Heresy shows those jet bikes. So I don't know why they're not featuring that. But regardless, all the current 30k stuff for Custodes is here. So nothing too crazy about the Custodes list. The Sisters list is interesting because I think it tripled in size. There's all these different units. Because last army list, I mean, even before talking about army list, there's like 4 Sisters of Silence kits that you can get right now. There's the plastic box that everyone knows about. There's the Forge World upgrade kit, which gives double pistol wielding sisters to the plastic box. So essentially, it's just an upgrade for bolt pistols. There's the Charon Pattern Acquisitor, which is the Dune aesthetic style transport tank that they have. And then it's a Forge World tank. And then we have Janisha Kroll, which is their leader. Forge World model. That's all we had as kits. Now, the Sisters of Silence plastic box does have enough bits to make like the captain equivalent and the lieutenant equivalent. But they added so much stuff here. I think there's one more unit in the last army list that doesn't have models. Essentially, it's sisters with whips and cyber animals kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there's a bunch more stuff here.
Well, I
Which
mean,
is
they gotta
interesting.
sell an army, right?
Right, yeah, because before the Sisters of Silence army was essentially fold in with the Custodes army, kind of like in 40k-ish, or how it used to be in 8th edition at least. But you had enough models where you could just field all sisters. But it was bare bones. Again, you had like 6-7 data sheets worth of stuff. But now you have a lot, right?
Yeah, and you got to
Ton of units
sell an
here.
army here and then get
Yep.
more
So
money.
yep. Now, interestingly, looking at the unit names, there's a bunch of so everything above the Questora cadre is they're all probably HQs.
Mm-hmm.
But if you look at the Questora cadre below, most of them say something cadre, and that probably means just a squad of sisters. So no like vehicles or dreadnoughts and all that. Now there's the termite assault drill, which is the drill that we all know, and then there's the
They brought
Charon
that
Inquisitor,
back?
which is
Dang.
yep, and there's the Charon Inquisitor, which is the transport I was talking about earlier. But yeah, everything else seems just like infantry squad. So I'm curious what these are. If maybe it's a heavy weapon squad, a support squad, a scout squad. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, probably gonna pick this book up because I have some Custodes and it's a 30k thing, and I at this point just consume all the 30k content.
Of course.
So yeah, that's interesting. Solar Ox list, nothing too special. I think they kind of consolidated a lot of the data sheets into one thing. So, for example, there's the infantry tertia, which is the infantry squad. I think they folded in the storm squad, which had Volkite chargers, and the storm squad with power axes probably to the same squad. So stuff like that, just consolidating data sheets into one data sheet with weapon options. And you got some flyers here. You got the Primaris Lightning, the Thunderbolt, and then you got the tanks. You got your Lehman Russ tanks, right? Lehman Russ tanks? No Lehman Russ tanks? Am I lying? Yeah, no, never mind. No Lehman Russ tanks. I guess no Lehman Russ tanks for Solar Ox anymore. Unless the Armored Tercio is the Lehman Russ Squadron, which it could be, because I think they could mix and match vehicles in squadrons. So maybe the Armored Tercio and the Artillery Tercio has like Basilisk and Lehman Russes. But regardless, we got the other resin tanks like the Stormhammer and the Malcador and Furnace there. So nothing too crazy with the Solar Ox list. You got the Assassins, we got the Vindicar, Calexis, Calidus, Eversor, Adamus, Venenem, Vanus, and Facite, all the stuff that we
Know and
saw.
love.
Yeah, we know and love. And the new peoples. And yeah, just more rules. So yeah, this is interesting. The sisters thing is really interesting. I'm curious. I mean, I'm curious about this whole army. No, if there are leaks, I haven't seen them yet. But yeah, it's kind of unknown how this army functions, how different they're going to be. I mean, with the jump from first to second edition, most of the armies did change in quite a bit in how they worked. I mean, their playstyle was the same more or less, but how they worked as an actually Mechanicum changed in playstyle a bit, but you know how they functioned as armies really, it's different, right? Like your 1.0 army just functions differently than your 2.0 army. So yeah, I'm curious to see what the Custodes army is going to be like, if they're going to be OP like they used to.
Oh, you know they are. They gotta make the super soldiers very OP.
Well, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, 40k they're kind of me, but in 30k, yeah, we'll see. I don't know. There's some pretty nasty Space Marine and Mechanicum lists. I wonder how Custodes will fit in there, if the general army is super strong, or if, I mean, even in 1.0, if you did infantry spam Custodes, it was strong, but it wasn't OP. It was the tank spam. Like shooty Custodes was pretty broken. Because I think that in 30k the jet bikes all have last cannons, or you can give them all last cannons, which is pretty ridiculous. So you just have bike squads, and then you just have tank squadrons here and there, and it was pretty nasty. So we'll see if it's still gonna be like that. Maybe it will. Who knows? But yeah, that's the league table of contents for the Liber Imperium book. Still curious to one more thing I'm curious about is if Solar Ox is loyalist only, or if they'll have trader options.
Well, we'll have to wait and see. What are we saying? Next month or this month?
So this is pre-order this weekend,
This
so it's
weekend,
going to be out
so.
next week. Yep. So going to be fast.
All right, then. Well, I guess we'll find out next week when all the data sheets are getting leaked out. But we can finally move on from this to Necromunda. And with Necromunda, we've gotten a few new models here. Our chem dealers in Brute. And it looks I like the Brute. I'm digging the Brute with his little skull hammer there.
Yeah, I like the Brute too. It's
And
a
the
pretty
little
cool model.
and his little cog he's standing on. Not a tactical rock. I really enjoy that model. That just that I don't even know what that on his back. Some kind of squid, stingray kind of thing. It's probably some bug. Let's be real. That's very cool.
Probably a bug. But
And then we
yeah,
got.
I really like this boss guy.
And he's good. Definitely better than the other generic
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Goliath
He is a
gamers we've
special
seen.
character though, so
Yeah,
it does fit his the model fits the character.
of course. And then we got the Goliath drug dealers down here, the chem dealers, with the guy with the copium mask and I don't know what that other guy's peddling, but can't be good with chains on his back. But yeah, very cool models. The chem dealers are whatever, to be honest. I
Yeah,
think
they're right.
the highlight is definitely the Brute. The Brute is where you wanna spend your money at. And going on to New Model Monday. And what a new model it is. Lord Solaris.
Yeah, the Lord. Yeah, sorry, can't even say this. Lord Solar Leontis, the successor to the famous Solar Macarius, which all the old guard players know about. Yeah, what do you think, Matt? It's a crazy model.
It is a very crazy model. And I kind of don't like it. I mean, it fits the 40k aesthetic, being goofy and all, but I kind of don't like it. Doesn't scream, Imperial Guard to me. It screams more AOS
Yeah,
design wise.
this model is interesting because on one hand, aesthetically, I think it makes sense that he doesn't look like Imperial Guard because, like, let me ask you this: what does if you like, what does Imperial Guard look like?
Well, if he went Imperial Guard, he'd be Cadia.
Right, that's the thing. And for me too, like if I think Imperial Guard or someone says Imperial Guard, I usually think Cadian. But Cadia is or not Cadia, the planet. Cadian the Cadians are a specific regiment. And like Death Corps, like Mordians, like Catachans, or the Attilan Rough Riders we saw before. This guy is kind of above regiments because he's the leader of he's one of the Lord Commanders, which are in charge of whole sectors of space. So they're up. They kind of answer just to the High Lords, so they're above the regimental system. So I think aesthetically, it makes sense that he looks nothing like Imperial Guard. Now, on the other hand, it is kind of weird that he looks so different. And I mean, I get the vibe they're trying to do. They're trying to capture this kind of Alexander the Great Napoleon vibe, which Solar Macarius was based on, the previous Lord Solar, who is now dead, has been dead actually.
Mm-hmm.
So I get that the aesthetic doesn't match what we think of Imperial Guard, which is usually Cadia. However, I do feel that the model should have some design elements that are still guard like, which like if you look at his character, this guy is a famous. I'm pretty sure he got his job as Lord Solar because not because he is an inspiring. Well, maybe he is inspiring, but you don't become Lord Solar because you're a hero on the battlefield, right? You become Lord Solar because you're really good at managing Excel sheets. Let's be honest. It's such a high command staff position that I can't imagine this guy being the turning point in a battlefield in the way that a Space Marine captain or an Orc war boss or even like a commissar, Lord Commissar would be. Like this guy is way behind the front lines. I'm not saying he shouldn't have a model, but I just kind of feel a Lord Solar would have like kind of like the Sisters of Battle, the Triumph of Saint Catherine. That model has little, a lot of models in the model. It has the banner bearer, it has the censer bearer, the cool sister with the sword. I feel like this guy should have some kind of like command staff on his base or something that shows that it's not just one guy who's a badass like like an orc war boss or a Necron lord, but it's the leader with his staff because that's how the Imperial Guard fight. They win by through logistics, through planning, riding the enemy down. They don't win by having kick-ass leaders leading the charge, right? I mean, not that they don't have that, but that's not kind of their thing. That's
Hey man,
so
you said this
that's
guy
just my rant.
excels at Excel. I mean, come on, a good Excel paper, very well organized, could win you a battle right there.
But that's the thing. The model doesn't capture the that like there should be a guy with his computer on the base, be like, "Hey, boss, like this is the latest report," you know. And that's the thing. Like it doesn't show that in the model. So that's my criticism of it, and that's why I don't like it. But I mean, I think aesthetically, it makes sense that he looks like an AOS model, if that makes sense. I do wish he was an AOS model. If this is what the humans look like, heck yeah, 10 out of 10.
Well, I mean, this is definitely the rise of good old Karl Franz.
Oh yeah, he's in 40K now.
Yeah.
Robot horse is interesting too. How the horse is just straight up not even. I'm sure there's a horse brain there because AI is bad, but it's straight up like a robot. If you look at the legs, it's robot horse. So that's an interesting design decision.
Well, it's gotta be robot design because it's gotta be able to jump onto different parts of the building, as it is gonna be a skimmer horse. But that is it. That is all the Warhammer news that we've got.
Oh, we got the Slaves to Darkness stuff.
We talked about the Slaves of Darkness.
No, the new stuff. The Chaos Warriors and the Chaos Knights.
Yeah, we went over that.
We did. I thought we went over the box set.
Did I miss something?
Yeah, I posted the link before we did the cast.
Oops. Star Wars. Yeah. I mean, we can go over it again, sure.
No, I think this is the first time they announced it. The new Chaos Warriors and Chaos Knights. So
Hmm.
these are, I think we've seen them before in previews or in like those background images kind of thing.
Right.
But I think this is the first time we've seen them featured. So we are getting new Chaos Warriors and Chaos Knights, which are separate from the ones we could get in the Start Collecting box. So these ones have halberds, and the Chaos Knights have the full command option with the banner bearer and the hornblower that we saw way back when. And it looks like the unit leader also has a hammer option for his weapon, which is super cool.
Ah, yes. We got that. We got the Chaos Lord.
Yeah, this is the alternative Chaos Lord. Well, not alternative. It's a Chaos Lord on Demonic Mount, which is the classic Chaos Lord on horse model, redesigned for the Age of Sigmar, and he is full of trim. He is super cool, but my gosh, all the trim.
Yes. Now looking forward to that. Now, well, I mean, I don't have to look forward to that because I'm not doing a Slaves of Darkness, but I were. I would not be looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I showed this off earlier, so I guess I should have told you that. Oh well.
But yes, so there you go. Slaves to Darkness coming in hot this winter for all you fans of. Oh, the Chaos Warriors don't have that much trim. That's kind of cool. But
It is
yeah,
the only AOS thing coming in this winter, if I recall.
that's right. That's right.
I recall from
Probably the
their thing.
maybe the Warcry box will come, but in terms of armies, yeah, this is it. It's I think so. The Chaos thing they announced was going to come out. This big Chaos release.
Yep.
So definitely has been a year of chaos with Chaos Space Marines getting a bunch of new stuff and Warriors of Chaos getting a bunch of new stuff.
It's about time. They needed it. They needed all the
It is about
upgrades.
time.
But then there we go. That's officially all the Warhammer news that we got. There is a Star Wars news, I think. Something you
Yes.
posted.
Yes, so Old Man Boba is now up for pre-order. And yes, I already reserved him at my local game store. But he will be coming out in December. So this is a Rebel unit. However, it does come with new command cards that could be used with the Empire Boba, allegedly, unless they change how command cards work, which they might, because these command cards would be pretty OP on Empire Boba, but it's okay. I mean, I'm sure they know what they're doing.
Now you're gonna go
But
helmet or helmetless.
oh, helmet for sure. As much as I like Tamura Morrison, the helmet on Boba is way too iconic. But yeah, definitely gonna. I think I'll commit to just running Boba Fett in every 800 point army I have that can take him. Like if I play droids, I can't, use Boba. But if I play Empire, and I think right now my 800 point list I want to practice and play with is an Empire list with Boba and IG. So super excited this model's coming out soon. We're still waiting for more information regarding the rules he has. Apparently, you could equip it with the flamethrower. It's not a command card anymore. It's just an upgrade you could have. And we're still waiting for Dark Troopers, Moff Gideon, Ewoks, and I think Ahsoka and Ventress. So it's kind of cool knowing that there's stuff coming out. I think a game is in a good spot when there's stuff that's going to be coming out for it, as opposed to just that's it, that's all we have. So yeah, Legion, Legion's the thing. Legion's still getting stuff, and we got one of the coolest characters getting a plastic model in Sprue. So I'm pretty happy.
Old Man Boba.
Old Man Boba.
Coming soon.
I do wish there was an option for him to have his gun. I'm not the biggest fan of the Tusken Raider stick, but it's pretty integral to his character, so I'm fine with that. Also, it's pretty strong in game, so
I mean, still guys rocket pack.
yes. However, I think he has speed too because he's older.
You gotta be
You know,
careful of those frail bones.
yeah, but that's Rebel Boba. He's still speed 3 in Empire.
Oh, there's that. That is that. That's all the news we have. I think we're ready for the hobby rant section.
Yeah.
So, what'd you do?
Played a ton of Legion last week. I think I played like 4 or 5 games.
Damn, man.
Yeah, I mean they're all skirmish, but yeah, I played a lot. I played 3 games with Maul Shadow Collective in the league. I got smashed a couple of times by double dewbacks. It's kind of funny, like on the league day on Sunday, I played 2 people and they essentially ran the same list, which was 2 dewbacks and a bounty hunter. First game was boss. Second game was the Mando. And the first game was pretty close. Second game was got smashed. The good player was, this cool guy is really good, and I just made some crucial mistakes with Darth Maul, and it didn't help that he was passing his saves with his dewbacks and with Mando. But still a fun game. But played that. I played against Rebels at our game night. That was a fun game. Cad Bane died to Leia. Oh, he got defeated by Leia, but then she got blasted by some pike soldiers. And I played another game with Darth Maul against Shadow Collective, and he cut his way through them. So that was fun. Going to be playing more this week. I think I have a couple of games scheduled on the weekend. A couple of 800-point games now, so I'm excited to run my Empire list. I actually just finished painting Boba Fett, the Empire Boba, so he's ready to go. I'm going to have some double bounty action going on.
Yeah, I need to paint up my Boba.
Yeah, he's super good, man. Boba Fett is super good. I was like reading some guides on him and kind of messing around with him on the list builders, and yeah, he just does good damage. He flies. He has speed 3. He's kind of pretty good in melee too, so he just kind of does everything. But yeah, in terms of Warhammer, haven't done any 40k or kill team or 30k last week. I don't think I think I'm still slowly painting my Chaos Space Spring kill team. But did I play with Will? I don't think so. Did I? Let me think. Last Saturday? No, I don't think I played kill team last week. The week before I did. But yeah, no kill team. Yeah, just lots of Star Wars Legion.
Nice. I got one game of 40k yen.
Yeah.
It was a very close game. It was exciting chaos against chaos, Thousand Suns against God, I can't remember what legion he went, but it was not World Eaters. Chavis betraying his World Eaters like this, I can't believe it. But yeah, it was a super close game. I lost by 2 points. Was the final scoring in that game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he had a
That's close.
mission. Yeah, he had a mission where he had to kill a lot more of my army, and he just got enough wounds to edge him out on that wind. But it was a super close game. It probably wouldn't have been as close if we weren't playing with this pop-up terrain. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So it wasn't terrain that we could move around or anything to set up better vantage points for ourselves, but overall, it was a very fun game. A lot of twists
That's
and
good.
turns. Finally got to fight Abaddon. And I wasn't too impressed with Abaddon to be honest.
Really?
Yeah. But I mean that's because my dreadnoughts were doing work. And I was just given my Thousand Suns mobility. It's kind of having Abaddon go back and forth a couple times, so he didn't really get to do anything.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, well, it's nice to have like I said, a very mobile army. You wouldn't think that about Thousand Suns, but duplicity get you far. And then, yeah, and that was it. I haven't really done anything else. I'm gonna have a nice week off starting Thursday, and maybe I'll get some hobbying done. I did get the Necron half of the kill team,
Oh, nice.
so maybe I'll build that up. so I can have
Yeah,
a good Necron team.
yeah, my box are out as well. We'll see. Try to find some time to get that going. Right now, the Star Wars Legion hype is too real. I just finished with Boba. I think I have another squad of pikes and some bikes to paint. Then I think after that, I have to decide between Kill Team and 30K. So we'll see. We'll see. Lots of stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, Kill Team's really simple, really fast to get through. So I don't
Right.
think it'd be
Right.
that big of a dilemma for you.
Except for Cast Marines, freaking taking forever.
Is the
But
price of the gold trim, my friend?
yeah, I'm not sure if I want to, even for Kill Team, like, do I want to do Kazarkin or do I want to do the terrain? Maybe I'll just do the Kazarkin, paint them up really quick.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Yep, there we are. Oh, I guess we can call it there. I'd like to thank everyone who made it to the end. Oh, actually, before we end, question to you: do you know
yeah.
any good alternate chaos spawn models?
Alternate chaos besides the regular chaos spawn.
Yeah, the one, something where I wouldn't have to spend $50 on 2 models.
The chaos brutes are pretty cool from Forge World.
Yeah, but I don't want to have to spend an arm and a leg. I need like
That's
5
true.
models.
That's a good question.
Well then,
The AOS would have, I think, the best choices.
I mean, you can never go wrong with Storm Fiends.
Yeah, they're pretty. Those are pretty pricey though for chaos spawn.
True.
Maybe some. But if we do Skaven, Rat Ogres are pretty. I think are the right size for chaos spawn.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you could do like the vampire, the Vargeist that they work too.
All right then. Well, we'll see what I got.
Yeah, yeah. We'll look into AOS stuff that like monstrous infantry stuff. Minotaurs are pretty cool actually. From or Bulgors, I mean, from Beasts of Chaos. But yeah, stuff. Yeah, monstrous infantry. I think that would be my choice.
All right then. Well, viewers, if you have any other suggestions, let me know below because I am looking for 5 additional spawn to add to my 1,000 Sun army. Because let me tell you, 23-point models, those things hit like a truck.
Ooh, there you go.
And I think a squad of 5 would be great in my army. So again, I'd like to thank everyone who made it to the end, and we'll catch you next time.
Later, everyone.